What it do, y'all? Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, my self-employed friends. Thank y'all for tuning in again. So today, I wanted to make this video because I'm actually on a layover in San Francisco, and I woke up early enough to see the sunrise, which is rare. But a video came to mind, and I feel like this is an amazing video because a lot of people are going through training or about to go through training, or they're in training currently and just starting. This video today is about how to survive flight attendant training. And this is not just specific to my airline. This is transfer learning, so it goes anywhere. Um, and it's not going to be a long video. I'll keep it short, simple, and quick. But I want to make sure I go over the top 5 things that I feel like that you need to do to survive airline training. So number 1, stay out of drama. The reason why I always say stay out of drama is because when you're on campus, if you're staying on campus or at the hotel, when you're in class for anything for 6 weeks, that long of time, you're going to get to know people. Sometimes you might get to know people you don't mesh with well, but regardless of how it is there will be drama at some point, as in people either liking each other. Like imagine you're in high school again or college, a small college, and that's literally how it is. And people have most definitely been sent home because of drama. There's cameras everywhere, they're watching you everywhere. And the reason why is because they want to see how you work with people. So if you're getting into confrontations or getting into drama, gossiping, or anything like that during your time there, they're looking at that. And they're going to ask you if you get called into the office about something, they're going to come in and ask you about it. So you just want to make sure that you're just nice. You're not getting into a lot of drama. You're not in everybody's face just simply because you just don't want that type of negative, how they're looking at you. Now, that doesn't mean to stay in your room and be a hermit all day. It just means to, while you're there, just don't gossip. That's how I see it is, as long as you mind your business. And of course, you make friends, you're genuine, you're really nice and cool with people, then you shouldn't have any problems. But that is a thing that I do have to say, because people most definitely were sent home because of drama and rumors and a lot of other stuff. Number 2, make sure you learn how to study. And the reason why I say is learn how to study, because in college, I did not study. I was not the studying type. But best believe when I got here, I figured it out. Quizlet is your best friend. You want to make Quizlets. You want to take as many notes as possible and make sure that you take good enough notes, because the tests are not rocket science. The tests are easy if you study. I don't think the tests are per se hard. They're quite simple, but if you don't study and you don't understand what it's asking, and they're asking sometimes they're straightforward questions. Now, not all of the tests are simple. Some of them you do have to study a little harder, but it is all possible. Everything is possible to pass. They're not going to put you in anything that you cannot handle. That's the easiest way how I love to put it. God will never put something in front of you that you can't handle. When you're in training, everything that they put in front of you, you are able to handle. One of the oldest ladies in our class was 69, somewhere in that area, 60, 70 area. And she was able to complete everything. So, and then the other thing is that I'm a flight attendant. There's thousands of flight attendants. So also think of it as, if they can do it, you can do it. We all went through a similar process. If you're with my airline, then you're going to go through the same thing that I went through. It is a lot. It is stressful. It can be stressful depending how you handle stress. But if you're studying, when the test comes, you should not have to worry. You shouldn't worry about anything in general, because when you got God on your side, everything is good. But as long as you're studying and you're making sure you're doing your part, everything else will line up. It's not like how in school the tests were meant to trick you up and to make you think it's one thing. No, a lot of the times the tests are very straightforward, and you're gonna do good as long as you prepare for it. Number 3 is some people like it. It all depends on how the type of person you are. I say don't be a hermit crab. You want to be there because you want to be a flight attendant. You're going to be in front of a lot of people constantly. So why not, while you're there, make some friends? A lot of the people that I met there, when I say like, these are going to be my lifelong friends, and that's because we all shared a traumatic, not playing, yeah, that is not traumatic, but we all shared an experience together that we had to study together. We had to wake up at 5 a.m. together. We had those flights that we had to take where we might have been delayed 4 hours. We all have different experiences with each other that is gonna just we're gonna tell our kids about. From well, some that have kids, they're already telling their kids. I ain't got no kids. So I'm gonna tell my kids about. So you want to make sure while you're there, you're building genuine relationships. If you're building genuine relationships, the drama isn't, it shouldn't find you. As long as you mind your business, you know you do what you're supposed to do, and you're gonna be fine. And especially studying wise, there's certain things that certain aircrafts you might get to, or certain tests that it might not make sense to you. But when you hear the way how someone else, your classmate, might explain it, we came up with so many different ways to memorize certain things that we knew was going to be on the test. That were things that were important that you pretty much, you know, you're like, all right, I would be surprised if this wasn't on the test. But without my classmates during certain tests, I might have not have passed all of my tests the way how I did. Or if you have to do a retake, you want to have that core group of friends that can be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to stay up with you and I'm going to make sure we're going to study, and you better answer every single question I can ask you before you take this retake. How do I know? Because I had friends that did that for me. So understand that the people there that you meet are really there to see you win. Number 4, remember that you are a person. You are alive. To me, I feel like you shouldn't go to class, even though you're exhausted and it is very tiring. You should not go to class and then go to sleep right after. Your whole 6 weeks shouldn't be just class, study, sleep. And the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, like, we are humans, we are people, we have a life. So while I'm there, of course, I'm going to study a lot. I'm going to be doing the web-based assignments a lot. Those are important also. I'll be making sure I get my work done. But you still want to find time to do things that you enjoy, whether that be working out, whether that be watching a YouTube video or Netflix or whatever it is that you enjoy to do on your time. You still have to find time for that, because training can be a lot worse if you're going to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning every night, and on your days off, which you don't really technically, you have like maybe a day off, but you're still doing things on your day off. But you want to find time for fun. Like I was sure enough, when I first went, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. But after that first week, boy, I tell you, I said, yeah, okay, where y'all going again? And I went. So you just really want to make sure that you're prioritizing your mental health, because some people did leave because of that. And it all just depends on how you handle stress. What is your how do you manage it? Do you fold under pressure? Do you thrive under pressure? But again, remember, when you're under pressure, pressure makes diamonds. It also makes coal too. So it just depends on what are you going to allow to make. Are you going to make it, or are you going to get scared, or are you going to rise to the challenge? Because 6 weeks is going to go by. It's going to feel like forever. But when it goes by, no matter what, whether you're there or you quit, 6 weeks is still going to go. So always remember that you can handle everything, and just thug out them 6 weeks, because it's not that bad. And the last thing that I will have to say is understanding that you deserve it. By the time you made it through all the interview processes, you've made it through the face-to-face, you've gotten your CJO, they want to see you win. The instructors want to see you win. When they're teaching, they're reading things very strategically, very specifically, because they want to make sure that when you get this test that you have to take or the thousands of tests it feels like you take, they want to make sure that you are fully prepared. So remember that they want to see you win. And not only just that, they're not trying to trick you. In school, that's a main thing that I had to remind myself is, one, that I deserve this. Why? Because I put in the time, I put in the effort. When I passed the test, it was one test that I passed that I studied a lot for, but I was still scared. I was nervous when I clicked submit, and I was surprised. I was like, you know what, Jalen? You shouldn't be thinking this. Remember who God made you to be, because If you remember who God made you to be, you would have clicked submit and been like, oh, I know I passed that test. And that's how you want to be. You want to be confident. When you take a test and you sit down for a test, you don't want to sit there and be scared for every test, because it's a lot of tests. And if you're scared for every test, you're spending a lot of mental energy on just nervousness. Don't put yourself through something twice. You already got to go through it, however many tests that y'all have to take. Just put yourself through it once. And don't forget to pray and trust and always remember that you can make it. Look at your instructors and look at the people when you walk through your campus and see that they have their wings on. That is a perfect indication that if they can do it, you can do it. And if you have to tell yourself that every single day, tell yourself that every day that I can do it, I deserve it. God wouldn't bring me this far to send me home. The worst way to get sent home is off of not even academically. That's why I just want to make sure you remember, just stay out of drama. Make sure you remember you're a human. You don't want to stay pinned up in the room all the time, just studying and sleeping. Make sure you study. Make sure you're doing your job. So I love y'all. If y'all want a part 2, y'all want some more tips and tricks that you feel like that I ran into and that I used while in training, comment, like, and subscribe. And your self-employed flight attendant is out of here. Peace.